Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Tonight we're back with another installment of the Python Koans series. So getting back to a more analog style with this channel. I think last time we did this, it's been a while. Maybe we were like 30% of the way done. So hoping to make some more progress tonight and have some fun with it. So let's go ahead and jump back into our directory here, and we will run the latest. Let's see, what is it called? Contemplate Koans.py. And let's see what file we are in. It looks like we are in about sets.py on line 12, which is where our last error was. So I'm going to open up the Koans folder structure and then do a command T about sets.py. All right, and it looks like we're in the very first one here. So what do we got? We've got a class called about sets, and we've got a test here on line 7 through 12. Test sets make keep lists unique. Okay. Test sets make keep lists unique. All right, so it looks like we've got an array, or a list, I should say, of various strings: McLeod, Ramirez, McLeod, Matunas, McLeod, Malcolm, and McLeod, all set to a variable called Highlanders. So I would assume from the show Highlander, which was something from back in the day for anybody who is not aware. All right, then there's another variable on line 10 called there can be only one, and that is set to the function set being passed that list of strings called Highlanders, okay? And so what is this going to do? So test sets make keep lists unique. My suspicion is that what it's going to do is reduce this list and remove any duplicates. I think that's what we should expect. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and take the list and remove any duplicates. So we've got McLeod, Ramirez. Let's get rid of McLeod. Matunas. We'll get rid of McLeod again. Malcolm we've seen, and the other McLeod. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Get that done. All right, so let's see what, if in fact that is correct. Okay, so what happened here? We're still on the same error, and it was expecting, first of all, a dictionary, and it looks like it wasn't fully unique. I had McLeod, Ramirez, and Matunas. McLeod, Ramirez, Matunas, McLeod, Malcolm. I think I missed a Malcolm. Definitely missed a Malcolm. And it looks like it also, I was going to say maybe it made them alphabetical order. No, but let me just go ahead and add Malcolm at the end, because that was a miss. Malcolm. And I know this is going to fail, but I just want to see now, does it fail on that one? Okay, so set appears to return this type of functionality, which I think is a dictionary, although I can be wrong. I could be wrong about that. Let me do, let's take this real quick. So first of all, let's confirm that the order does matter. Okay, so the order doesn't matter. So, but I still do want to know what this data structure is. So I'm going to grab that, and then let's go into our sort of little test REPL here. And I want to place that there, and I want to call dot underscore, I think class underscore underscore. So it's a class set. So interestingly, I didn't know this until right now, but the syntax for a set is the two squiggly brackets, braces. And that's usually what I would immediately associate with a dictionary, but obviously there's nothing like a mapping happening here. It's just a list of strings. So that's interesting, something new. But it looks like set will take a list and return a set with just the unique items in the list. So there we go. Pretty interesting. All right, next up. On line 14, we've got a test. Test that empty sets have different syntax to populated sets. All right. So let's see. An empty set versus a populated set. I don't really know what it's expecting here. Let's run it and see what it says. It wants something filled in. Is it supposed to be like this? Oh, I need to get out of this thing. All right, what are we at? Line 16. All right, so that was fine. I want to get rid of this again and see what it was actually expecting, because I don't think that really counts. Fill me in, yeah, okay, fine, I get that, but let's do like an empty string. How about that? And what does it say? Assertion error. Okay, so it was expecting it. I don't know, it's kind of silly because you're just basically doing the same exact thing that's already there. But basically, I think what this is trying to show us is that a set that's populated with items is using that bracket syntax. Now, if it's an empty set, I wonder what it looks like. So let's just give it the empty syntax there. I don't think I need that. Okay, and I bet that's going to be incorrect. So let's see what it says about it. All right, so I think for an empty set, it expects to see this syntax. And that is correct, because it looks like we're down to line 22. All right, so let's do, again, Python 3, and we'll say set dot underscore. So it's a class set. Does it have a length? Can I say dot methods? Let's see. What about this? What is this? So that is an empty dictionary when it's the two brackets. When it's the two parens, it's an empty set. So that's kind of interesting. But I want to know, let's see. Let me pull up a browser real quick because I want to know how to get the length of a set. I don't know why that was unclear. What is happening? Where is the browser? Here it is. All right, so a bunch of nonsense. How to get the length of a set in Python. What is that all about? Python length, find the length of a set. Oh, I was correct. I think it's the len function, but I just didn't put the parens, of course. All right, so let's do that dot len. This takes some getting used to in Python. I'm used to it. Set object has no attribute len. Okay, that doesn't seem correct then. What if it's populated? Let's do 1, 2, 3, dot len. It still doesn't like that. So it doesn't seem correct. The sum, using an enumerator, using len. Len function in Python removes the number of elements in a set. It provides a total count of, I don't think that's correct. Let's just copy this. Does this actually work? What the heck? So you cannot call length on the set itself because it doesn't have that attribute or that function implemented, but you can save that set to a variable, it looks like, and then pass that to a length function, and it will return the count. So again, let's do set, we'll say A equals an empty set, and then we'll say len of A 0. Okay, so that's working as we would expect. So it is possible to get the length of a set. All right, line number 18. Now just to confirm, are we back on line number 18? Let me do exit, and we'll run the latest. Where were we? Line 22. Okay. So our assertion failing is on line 22. Test dictionaries and, so we're at line 18, we're in a new test. Test that dictionaries and sets use the same curly braces. We just talked about this. Note, literal sets using braces were introduced in Python 3. They were also backported to Python 2.7. Interesting, good to know. All right, so we've literally just done this in our REPL as part of our kind of debugging and better understanding of this syntax. So let's go ahead and do it again. We should know the answers. So when we call a class on something like this, we're going to expect it to be a set. When we call a class on something like this, which is just different, which is, it includes like a mapping from a key to a value, that's a slightly different structure. It is a different structure. I think we're going to expect dict. All right, and now remember, an empty curly braces is not an empty set, it's an empty dictionary, which again, we just illustrated a moment ago on the REPL. So let's run this. Now we are on to line 28. So all of those were correct. Line 27, test creating sets using strings. Okay, so we've got a set with a single string inside. Now, what is that going to create? I don't really know, but I'm going to take a guess, and that it's going to be like this, and it's going to be individuals. But we shall see. 4, 5. Let's see if line 28 passes. Line 28 did not pass. Items in the first set, but not the second. Items in the second set, but not the first. All right, so I don't think that was correct. I think maybe it's just a single string. Which again, I think is kind of silly because you're just repeating what the assertion expects. All right, so line 29. Interesting. So again, what is this data type? It's got to be set also, right? Let's check it out. So we got this underscore. All right. So that is a class set. And now it looks like another way we can do this is if we call the actual function set and pass something in, I think it will expand it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if that works. All right, so we're at line 32, so that passed. All right, so this is a set. This returns a set. However, if you use these curly braces to define it, whatever is in the middle is all that's there. There's no manipulation of the data that's in there. It's a single string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, if you create a set using the keyword here and pass in a single string, but with multiple items, I guess, and multiple characters, it looks like it will split those up into individual characters in the resulting set that comes back. So that's kind of interesting. Test, convert the set into a list to sort it. All right, interesting. So we know that set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will return a new set with the individual characters in the string that we gave it split out. And now it says sorted. So I think it should still be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even if it's sorted, right? Because that's already sorted. But let's just write it and confirm. All right, we got that. Let's see what it says. So on line 32, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorted set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, assertion error 5, 3, 1, 2, 4. I have no idea why it would be 5, 3, 1, 2, 4. How is that possible? So let's get this piece of code and we'll experiment with it a bit. So we jump in here. Interesting. Yeah, sorted is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was correct. Sorted set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's in a different form. Oh, because sorted returns a list. Talk about this in a moment. Let's just confirm, does line 32 now pass? Yes, it does. All right, so set seems to return a set with things that are just out of order. It returned like 5, 4, 1, 2, 3 or whatever. Sorted sorts those items into the normal way you would expect, but its data type of the thing that it returns is a list. So it uses the array syntax or the bracket syntax. Okay, let's finish these last few. Test set have arithmetic operators. All right, so on line 37, we've got a set of 3 strings, McLeod, Wallace, and Willie, set to a variable called Scotsman. And then on line 38, we've got a set McLeod, Wallace, and Leonidas set to a variable of warriors. So we can do some arithmetic on these. All right, so if we take Scotsman and we subtract warriors, it seems like what we would get back is whatever whatever was in Warriors that's also in Scotsman gets removed, and we get back the only thing that's remaining as a set. So I'm going to guess that this is going to be I don't think I want that. This is just going to be Willie. What's happening here? Willie. All right, let's try that. So that was line 40. Let's see if line 40 passes. It does. All right, now this one is dividing. I don't really know. So let's give it something empty and see what it does. I want to see what it says about it. So it's looking for Willie, Leonidas, Wallace, and McLeod. Willie, Leonidas, Wallace, and McLeod. So this pipe syntax returns everything. Willie, and then we need to do Leonidas. Line 42. Okay. So if we use the AND operator, I think we will get back only the items that are in both, meaning McLeod and Wallace. Let's give that a try. Shoot, press the wrong button. McLeod, Wallace in a set. All right, and we're to line 43. So this one is the caret operator. I'm not really even sure what that does. And it looks like it will give us back the items that are different between the two sets. So the opposite of the AND or the ampersand operator. All right, so let's try that. So that's going to be new set, get rid of this, Willie and Leonidas. All right, so that's useful. All right, we're down to line 48. Okay, so moving forward, test that we can query set membership. Okay, so assert equal. We got this statement here, 127 in a set with various integers, including 127. My expectation is that this will return a Boolean, and that Boolean in this case will be true, a Boolean object. All right, that is absolutely correct. Line 49, cow not in set apocalypse now. I think that is going to be also true because the string cow is not in the set apocalypse now. Let's run it. That's correct. All right, test we can compare subsets. Okay. So set cake, and then this rocket operator, hash rocket, set cherry cake. Test we can compare subsets. Does this just return true that yes, cake is in the other set? Let's try it. Line 53. That was correct. So this is saying, maybe it's saying, it's check to check if it's a subset. So it's asking, is this set a subset of this set? And it is, because as we recall, this will break these out into individual items in a new set, and one of those is going to be cake, and that's exactly what this is. All right, next up. Set cake is subset cherry cake. Again, same concept, just different syntax. I think it's going to be true. Set cake, something set pie. I don't know what that means, but let me just run this real quick to confirm. We are to line 55. All right, so I'm going to assume that's false because cake is not pie. Beautiful is better than ugly. All right, we have accomplished that. Now I am curious, what is the character, what is the operator in Python set comparison? The operator forward thing is a set comparison. It's used to check if the left side is a proper superset of the right set. This means it returns true if the first set contains all elements of the second set and the two sets are not equal. All right, so that was the case here. That first one was not a superset of the next one because they both contain uniquely different items. All right, my voice is kind of hurting, so I think I'm going to stop here. But we made it through one, short and sweet this time. Hope you all have a good rest of your week. Hope by the end of the week I can do another kind of cloud-related thing that we had started with the Cloud Goat stuff. So have a good night, have a good day at work tomorrow, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you. Bye.